What's up, baby? How you doing? Yeah, I can hear you. Man, that's what's up, man. I'm waiting to get loaded up. I should be next up. They had 3 trucks in front of me, so I'm next up. And I'm gonna roll on down south. Take 35 south. Takes 35 south. Yeah, I'm gonna try to come down there for Indian day. Yeah, it wasn't no Thanksgiving. It ain't no Thanksgiving. They killed them Indians, man. That was a genocide. It wasn't no Thanksgiving. Them Indians ain't give that up. Yeah, coming on home for Indian Day. Nah, I ain't going to no second line. Ain't they had a shooting at the second line, huh? Oh, man, that's crazy. It's like, man, we got to do better as a people, huh? That's crazy. I mean, it's just, man, the world is just is in so much turmoil right now. You know, Ukraine had launched 6 U.S. missiles. So U.S. got blood on their hands. They enter into the chat. So Russia gonna retaliate. They gonna launch that Aura. I think it's an Aura S-26. They gonna launch an Aura S-26. They're gonna take out. Man, no telling where they gonna launch it at. But a Aura S-26. That can take out a whole country. That thing go 20 kilometers. I was reading up on it. It go 20. No, it goes 6. It goes 6,000 kilometers, which is over 1,000,000 feet when you translate that, convert that into feet. It's over 1,000,000 feet. So yeah, we're going through so much right now. What's up, Big Lawrence Network? I got the Big Lawrence Network live. We still waiting on to get loaded. Yeah, so we at this place. I think this a hospital or something like that. They had a tornado, and so we pretty much, yeah, they had a tornado here. So we pretty much, we just salvaging pretty much all the expensive stuff they gonna take down to Laredo, Texas, and pretty much, yeah. So that's pretty much what it is. I think those are called silos that's getting on them RGNs. I don't have an RGN, so yeah. So I don't have an RGN, so those loads pay more. But it just comes with the territory. I have a flatbed. So I'm gonna get pretty much the strap. But it's all good. It's all love. It's all money going in the bank. So that's pretty much what we're gonna do. And in trucking, man, I'm telling you, you get a good education out here, man. You got to take the good with the bad, and take the good to get to the bad, and take the bad to get to the good. So they got Indian Day. I'm gonna try to be on for Indian Day. And pay homage to all the Indians. Shout out to all the Native Americans that was killed, a couple 100 years ago. It's just so funny. We still saying Thanksgiving. Them Indians didn't turn over their land. Them, people are so brainwashed, especially in this country. All over. I've been to Haiti. But when you go outside the U.S., a lot of people are catching on to the U.S. propaganda. And a lot of the African countries, shout out to Brahim, I'm saying his name wrong, Trahim, but he's the president, he's the youngest president in Africa over Burkina Faso. That's a country on the west coast of Africa. Is right off like Ivory Coast and right around Angola. But shout out to him. This man been in office for 2 years. And they had 18 assassination attempts on his life. He's an African president. He's trying to overthrow. He said, "What you okay?" He said, "You doing okay, bro?" Man, you always ask me, yeah, I'm doing okay. Man, look, join the live, man. Yeah, I'm okay. Grumpy, I'm alive. Some people, this the dude, every time you come on a live, you ask, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay, brother. I'm alive. I'm healthy, I'm well. Look what I'm eating. Look what I'm eating, bro. How many people could say they eat pineapples for breakfast? How many people you know in this world? But yeah, like I was saying, man, a lot of people are waking up all over the world, man. Look it up. It's a country in West Africa. It's called Burkina Faso. You know, he's starting a revolution with all the African presidents to stand up and overthrow the that neo-colonialism. You know, once they kick France out, France's economy is gonna collapse. The only reason France is alive is because of they robbing Africa blind. That's the only reason France is alive, because they over there robbing Africa blind. But once the African people stand up, they will liberate themselves and get their sovereignty back. And then all them Europeans, they're going to be running down to Africa. They're going to be trying to cross the border into Africa. That's the only way they survive, because they still and they robbing Africa blind, and everybody, the whole world is doing it, you know. But that's why it's all about unity, you know, and push that, man, you know. But I'm going to do some more videos with some world news, and I'm going to try to spread the world news, because a lot of people don't even know that. This man been in office 2 years and had over 18 assassination attempts. Burkina Faso. But what he doing is he waking up a lot of the African leadership, and they are, you know, they locking in. They locking in, you know. So yeah, man, I'm still waiting to be loaded. So unfortunately, I don't have an RGN trailer. So those guys get the good loads. They paying pretty good. And I'm pretty much getting the trash, you know, but that's because I got a regular trailer, you know, but it come with the territory. But God is good. I'm able to make some money. I'm healthy. I got my, you know, my heart pumping, everything going good, man. My family's good, you know. My mama good, my brother's good, everybody good. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, man, we gotta keep going no matter what, man. You gotta keep going, keep stacking this paper up, you know. But like I said, you know, a couple months ago, and another thing is, man, with war is to cleanse the poor. The world is already overpopulated. So what they do with war, it's all type of stuff that's over our head that's going on with these people. You know what I'm saying? They got war in Senegal. They got war in the Congo. Ukraine just launched those missiles. And Russia, now they got to pay for it. Once you start throwing the missiles, that's a whole nother story. Ukraine they don't have nuclear bombs or missiles. The only reason they launched 6 missiles is because he said, how you like flatbed driver? I love it, bro. I love it, man. I love it. The number one thing I can say, the reason why I love flatbed is not that I can't back, because I could back pretty good, but like most places you go, you don't have to back. And most places that you pick up a load from, if you're running out of time, you can pretty much, you know, do your 10-hour break there at most places. You know, I was just in South Florida. I deliver a load down there in South Florida, and I end up taking my bike off the trailer. You know, and that's another thing. You know, which you could get a fold-up bike. Is all different type of ways you can, you know, do that. But the good thing is, you know, I got my bike hooked up to my bulkhead on my trailer, and I was down there in South Florida, and I got out and dude, and I went and had a good time. He said, my homie trying, let me see. How the fuck you read? What a comment said. It said, my homie trying to get me to go back to Swift to go lease. Don't do that. Don't do that. Dude, look, let me tell you something. Over here at Warren Transportation, dude. I'm going to tell you something. Over here at Warren Transportation, if you're going to lease a truck, come over here at Warren Transportation. Dude, I got a 2024 Peterbilt, which I wouldn't recommend getting a Peterbilt because I spent $200 unnecessarily because Peterbilt having computer problems, you know, as far as my battery indicator light popped up. So, you know, it's my bread and butter. So I stopped at the Loves to let them check it out, to let me know if my battery is good or bad. Come to find out, I spent $54 and some change, and my battery is good. So I spent $54 out my maintenance account, which I had $2,500 in my maintenance account. So I wasted $54 just because the battery light was coming up, but the battery is good, right? So I ended up spending, he said, y'all don't have to run a lot of miles to make money. Dude, that's the key. That's the key. When I go home for damn near 7 days, bro. He said, you start flatbed with them? No, bro. I did flatbed with Milton. Man, I don't look. My mentor, he a YouTube. His name 50 Plus. I was on his truck. He taught me everything. He's a really good trainer. So if you go to Milton, put in a driver code to get 50 Plus. Look him up. He on YouTube. He's a hell of a trainer. He taught me everything I know as far as, you know, with flatbed. He's a pretty good trainer. Even though you get training when you come over here to Milton, I put out a bunch of videos, the guy that trained you. So, you know, look at those videos. And it's really not that hard. And then, you know, we got a group text. You know, usually when you go to orientation, you know, a lot of the guys, we all lock in. Even though a lot of the guys are not here, you know, that I started orientation with. But those guys most of those guys went to drive-in. And it's just interesting how some people think. Like guys instead of them coming over to make the money, like come over to do flatbed. I don't know. I ain't gonna say people are lazy, but guys that jump from this company to go to another company and end up leaving that company. I understand people trying to figure things out, but I tell them, man, all y'all had to do was come over here. It's not that hard. We got a group text. You get a load. You don't know how to secure it. All you gotta do is send a picture, and you got 7 other drivers, 8 other drivers that gonna tell you how to secure that load. You know, just like these high loads right now. Man, look at them things. Look how big them things is, bro. So they telling them they gotta use straps, but look at the overall dimension of those. I think they call it silos. Look at the overall dimension of those things, man. And they got a brother over here. He's still strapping that load. I guess they're gonna have to somehow use 2 straps and connect them together, you know. But I'm just glad I don't have to deal with that. I'm getting pretty much the trash over there, you know, because I got a regular flatbed trailer, unfortunately. But I know those loads, they're oversized and they're paying more, but I don't have an RGN trailer. You know, but I'm going to get that right there by that crane. You see those 2 square pieces? I'm going to get that. I don't know what it is. I think it's a ladder or something like that, but I'm going to pretty much get the trailer. But it's all going down to Laredo, Texas. You know, so it is what it is. But the thing is, what point I was trying to make, or this was the point I was trying to make with Warren Transportation. Now, this is a 2024 Peterbilt, and even though I'm having these problems as far as with the electrical problems, and really I wasted $200 that came out of my maintenance account. I got an oil change. The oil change, it was like $457, so damn near $500 for an oil change. So all that came out of my maintenance account, which I had over $2,000 in my maintenance account. So I'm good. But this the thing that I really respect about this company, and I'm gonna tell y'all like this, because I talk to a lot of drivers, And I'm gonna tell you like this: a closed mouth don't get fed, man. A closed mouth don't get fed. You know, and a company only going to get over on you as much as you allow them to. You know, so, and I give y'all an example of what I'm talking about. I remember when I was at Swift, right? I was at Swift Transportation, and I remember I was on that Georgia Pacific account, and I was making decent money. And but my check was like $900 something. So I told my manager, I was like, you know, look, I'm out here, I'm running, and I'm training. There's no way that my check should be under $1,000. So after I told my manager that, I kid you not, after I told my manager, look, I'm not getting the miles that I need, and I was over at Swift, my check was never under $1,500 after I told that. And so I say that to say that a closed mouth don't get fed. You always got to speak up for yourself. And you know, man, the greatest education you could get is driving these trucks. You learn so much. And you know, I got a heart of gold. I always try to help my brothers out, but sometimes I realize if a person is not willing to help themselves, let them go. You know, you just gotta let them go and let them fend for themselves, and let them try to swim their way back to shore. Because remember that time when I stuck my neck out there for a student that was from, you know, my hometown. You know, I'm from New Orleans. They had another student. It was 21 years old, and I stuck my neck out for him. They was about to fire him because he ran a red light, right? They was going to fire him. Swift was going to fire him. I stuck my neck out there for this dude, and this dude ended up quitting. But that's not the end of it. About a month, and so he ended up quitting next week after I stuck my neck out there and saved his job, right? And this guy, on our way home, you know, I was going home every weekend over at Swift because I was on Georgia Pacific. So make a long story short, the guy ended up quitting. And he was like, oh, man, it's just not for me. And I'm like, damn, you serious? After I stuck my neck out there, I wish you would have told me that before I stuck my neck out there and was calling safety in Memphis. Then had to call safety up in Phoenix and say, man, he a good kid. Give him a second chance. He don't need to be fired. You don't need to send him back to New Orleans. And then the next week he quit on me and he said, man, it's not for me. He ended up going to Cisco. And I told him, I said, bro, dude, like, I understand people won't be local and go home, but I'm like, dude, if you can't handle this, there's no way you're gonna handle Cisco. I know you won't be home every day, but get your experience with this first. Make a long story short, this dude, I kid you not, and look, let me tell you how Swift, people talk shit about Swift. Swift, he put in an application, so he ended up didn't lasting over at Cisco. So he came back as a rehire. And Swift was gonna hire him back. They called me, they say, you wanna train him? And I'm like, no, I don't want to train him. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that Swift was going to fire this dude, I saved his job, then he quit and went to Cisco. Then he ended up, he couldn't make it at Cisco. Then a month later, he coming back as a rehire, and Swift was willing to hire him back, which I think they hired him back, but they asked me, did I want to train him? And I said, no. You know, so like, shout out to Swift and shout out to everybody that's trying to get these CDLs, man. Get your CDLs. This is the best education you could get. You know, it taught me, it gonna teach you a lot, man. And stick with it because, you know, I know in the beginning it could be rough, but it really teaches you a lot. It teaches you how to balance. It teaches you how to manage. That's the main thing, is you have to learn how to manage. Manage your money, manage your fuel, manage everything. You know what I'm saying? And that's the number one thing. And the number two thing is it teach you how to be the bigger person. You know, you're going to be running all around this country, and, you know, you're going to be seeing a lot of drivers doing a lot of small things. And even not just the drivers, you know, you're going to go to shippers, and you're going to see a lot of people just doing the small things and doing, you know, just unnecessary stuff. Like, I give you an example, but you don't let nobody put you in a hard situation. Like, for example, I was somewhere, right? And this guy who was gonna load me up, you could tell he was kind of thrown off, and he wasn't living his best life, and he just wanted to bring everybody down with him. So what ended up happening is he was like, hey, buddy, you need to back up over here. And I'm like, dude, this is a flatbed. What I need to back up for? You load me up. He said, Lawrence, I am thinking of going to Cisco. How was your experience? Dude, I'm going to tell you, over at Cisco, it's a seniority. So you're going to start out, with pretty much the worst. You're gonna start out with pretty much the worst. I shouldn't even say that, but it's a seniority, so you're gonna start out with the worst route, pretty much. You know, So, but work your way up if you determine if you really want to be home like that. But the thing is, it's like, look, but it's a lot of. It all depends on, just like at Swift, it all depends on what terminal you at, and it all depends on who running it. Whoever running it, you can have a person that don't know how to run it. So make a long story short, it all depends, bro, if the person know how to run it, because some of those divisions, some people you could get on, like, for example, you could come with one division out of Harahan, Louisiana, that is run efficient by let's say a guy that's running it efficient, or you could go somewhere where a lady is running that facility and it's just unorganized. So it just all depends, bro, where you at and who running it, and I shouldn't say man and woman or whatnot, but it all depends on who's running it, and if they're running it efficient. That's just with anything, but yeah. So back to my story, what I was saying, as far as don't let nobody, because especially when you go to these warehouses, these people are so miserable. And like, let me tell you something, bro, like trucking, that's one thing about trucking, and you don't have to kiss nobody ass, man. You don't got to kiss nobody ass. And I know a lot of them are dealing with that, and a lot of people, it's tough right now for a lot of people. I had a load I had dropped off in Iowa, and what's that company name? Giant Deere. We get a lot of our loads from Giant Deere. Giant Deere laid off over 2,000 and some jobs. Up in Iowa, they laid off 2,000 and some jobs. So I'm chopping it up with the guy that's unloading me. And keep in mind, I don't smoke cigarettes. I smoke cigars. I smoke a Cohiba, a Perdomo or something like that. That's a treat or whatnot after I get off work. But long story short, the guy asked me for a cigarette, and he a forklift driver. And I end up getting the guy like $2-3, bro. But the guy was saying, dude, they laid off 2,000 people, and all those jobs went down there to Mexico. That's why most of these trucking companies have terminals down in Laredo, Texas, so they could get those loads that's coming from. So the guy just was stressed out, and he was telling me, he was like, dude, they laying people off left and right. He don't know if he gonna be 2001. So, like, man, you just gotta definitely stack your bread up. And just to get off subject a little bit, back to that Russia situation, Russia, they built bunks. They got bunks underground. So when World War III started and they start launching those missiles, they got bunks underground where all the billionaires and all the wealthy people gonna go when all these missiles start flying. But y'all gotta keep in mind that the world is overpopulated. They got a war in Ukraine and Russia. Man, France, all them European countries is down there robbing Africa blind. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of those African countries, they're starting to wake up, and they're starting to unify, and they're starting to wake up and kicking all the oppressors out, kicking all those Europeans out. So it's all type of wars going on, and they got all, but war is just to cleanse the poor. The world is already overpopulated. So once they start, if Russia was to launch that Aura, what it is, it's an Aura S-26. If Russia launched an Aura S-26, it weighs 50 tons. Just the head on the missile, just the head by itself is 1.5 tons. So if Russia was to launch that in Ukraine, that nuclear bomb is so powerful that if Russia was to launch that and hit Ukraine, it'll kill everybody in Ukraine. And not only that, it'll kill everybody in the neighboring countries. And then that bomb gonna affect people for over, I think, dude, when they dropped the bomb, World War II, they dropped the bomb, but make a long story short, they still feeling the effects, and children are still being born deformed from all the chemicals from that bomb over 50 years ago. So if they drop that bomb, dude, that's it. So what's going to end up happening is, because war is just to cleanse the poor. So a lot of poor people going to die, and all the rich people, you know what the rich people going to be? They're going to be in bunks underground. They're going to be in safes underground. You know, so it's just to cleanse the poor. You just to wipe a couple million people, 10 or 20 million people off the world real quick. You know what I'm saying? Real quick. What happened in Senegal, they have 8 million people genocide in the Congo. You know, all these wars going on, like cobalt, like over in the Congo. Congo is one of the richest countries in Africa. They got cobalt. That's what they're fighting for, cobalt. But Africa can't get a grip because they too busy robbing and stealing, man. They got Germany, they got France, they got all them getting that cobalt. Like even these iPads, all these cell phones, you can't use a cell phone, you can't use an iPad without cobalt. Africa is so rich in resources, but the African government, dude, the thing is, when they do get a good leader, they kill them off. Like y'all keep an eye on the country, what is called Burkina Faso. They got the youngest African president over there, 35 years old. Burkina Faso, he 35 years old, bro. And he been in office for 2 years. He already is developing his country, and he's getting French. He's kicking the French out. See, once they kick French out, French economy is gonna collapse. Because French economy is nothing without Africa. Without them robbing all the minerals and resources out of Africa, French gonna collapse in a lot of them European countries. And instead of Africans running to Europe, they're gonna be running to Africa. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of war going on, man. It's a lot of war going on, man. But I'm still waiting. So they had a tornado, and man, when I tell y'all, dude, the wind is blowing so hard right now in Lincoln, Nebraska right now. It feel like another tornado about to come. But, they loading these guys up. Soon when they load these guys up and get out the way, then I'm pretty much picking up some trash with this regular flatbed trailer. But I think somebody asked me a question. Thumbs up. Man, what's up, Ben? What's up, Mike? Mike said I'm thinking of going. Grumpy C. Grumpy C. Getting on these trucks really ain't for everybody, man. Yeah, you know what it is, dude. But the thing is, man, as it's just certain things. I'm 34 years old. Ain't no more, I can't go on a job and kiss nobody. Man, I remember I was working at a job. This was a long time ago. I think I was about 20-something. And I was working at a furniture store. And this white guy, well, I ain't gonna, his race don't really matter, but his name was Big Jim. But he told me they ain't had nothing to do. And keep in mind, it was a furniture store. So pretty much we were just moving furniture when somebody ordered furniture. And this guy told me, he said, I think I was getting paid $15 an hour. He was like, don't just stand there, get a broom. And I was like, man, I said, man, you get a broom. Fuck, but that's the good thing about truck driving, man. You don't got to worry about kissing nobody ass or, if they ain't got nothing to do, they ain't got nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, waiting on getting this load. This load pays, it don't pay the best, but it's the best option I have in this area. This load going down to Laredo, Texas is 1,023 miles, and it's paying $2,375. Hold on, let me see. He's paying. So let me show y'all. Hold on. So that's it right there. It's paying $23.78. $23.78. So the line haul is $1,671.19. The fuel reimbursement is $138.82. The fuel surcharge is $568. And so the total is $2,378.09. You know, so like I said, the number one thing is about managing your fuel, and honestly, if I was to ever do it again, I'd get a Freightliner over a Peterbilt, because don't get me wrong, it is a good truck, but a Detroit, like honestly, I'd probably be saving $200 to $300 if I had a Freightliner just on fuel. This Cummins, you know, it just, the Detroit is just more fuel efficient. I should say that Freightliner is more fuel efficient. You know, I'm doing good, but like I say, it's a good truck, but dude, it can drain some diesel. You know what I'm saying? It could drain some diesel. So like this 23, I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna probably spend like $700. I'm gonna spend. It's gonna cost me about $700. So it's gonna cost me about $700. Boom. So you subtract 700 from that, which I already got. Hold on. It's gonna cost me. Let me see. So I got a half a tank. Yeah, so I got a half a tank. So I'm gonna fill it up. I'm gonna fill that thing up and I'm gonna run. I'm gonna do 65. I noticed, like when you do 65, you get a better, fuel. With a MPG, you get more miles to the gallon. When you go 65, but when you go 70 in this Peterbilt, this thing, long story short, it suck up some gas, suck up some fuel and whatnot. But yeah, man, God is good. Everything is good in the hood, man. We waiting on to get loaded up. Yeah, but man, what I was about to say earlier, I wanted to make this point, man, because let me say, so the thing I like about Warren is the overhead. The overhead not high. So for example, for Native American Day, when I go home for Native American Day, I'm gonna probably take 5-6 days off. But the overhead, the truck payment altogether, my overhead is like $900 and something, bro. $900 and something. The truck by itself is $675. It was I told y'all $665, but it's like $10 for some type of something. But long story short, so the truck is $675. $675, right? And then with everything, but I calculated it's like at $970, but it's under $1,000. So that's why I could take a week off and come out and get a load out of Thibodeau from John Deere and run it up north, and it'd be like $2,500. So even if I take a week off and I come back, I'm never in a hole because my overhead is low. I get a load for $2,500, boom, boom, I'm out the hole. I get one coming up, coming back down, boom. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I like about it, versus I know those guys over at Prime, man, they paying like $1,300 for just a truck. They paying $1,300 too. And dude, this truck is only $675, bro. You know what I'm saying? And the loads are there. You know, if you're willing to run. Then on top of that, Warren is giving you an incentive. I think this, you know, they're giving you another. We get 65% of the revenue of the load. So just imagine what these loads really paying. You know, so I'm getting 65%. You know, but which that's the line haul, but yeah. Well, what I was about to say, man, I forgot what I was about to say. Yeah, but the overhead is low, so man, you could take a week off. You know what I'm saying, and enjoy yourself. You know, and that's the thing. You know, they got good loads coming out of Thibodeau, and it all depends on where you live. But you know, like I noticed when I go down to Laredo, a lot of those guys live in Laredo. And don't get me wrong, bro. I lost my passport. I gotta find time. I think I'm gonna find time and go get my passport again, right? Go reapply and get my passport. But they had a load coming out the Laredo yard going up to Canada. And that load paid close to $10,000. And that was only, it was like 2,500. I don't even think it was 2,500 miles. It was like 2,000 miles and something. It was like going straight. You know, most of those countries in Canada are right at the border. So it was like going from Laredo to Canada. And I think it was like 9,000 and some change. But I couldn't get that load because I didn't have my passport. So that's what I think I'm gonna get once I go home for Native American Day. I think I'm gonna go down to the post office and go ahead on and reapply for my passport, because I don't want to miss out on that load. And there's other good loads that come out of John Deere. They call experimental loads, which it be a some type of experiment that they take from, I believe is the John Deere out of Iowa. And it's an experimental load. They pay good. They either go to California or they go to Florida. But I was talking with a driver in a lounge at the terminal down there in Laredo, and he told me he had a load paying $9,000. That it was an experimental load. It was some type of a load that needs to be got tested. I don't know if they were trying to test it for a bomb or anything, but I think that's why they pay you that much money, because I think it got chemicals or something like that. I don't know, but I'm guessing. But they had to test it or something like that, and they tested facilities. They got one in California and one in Florida, and they paid pretty good. But the guy say, it paid him over $9,000. Then on top of that, he got a load coming out of California that took him right back to Texas for $3,800. So, dude, when you listen to these truck drivers, they'll tell you don't go to California because you can't get a load out of California. But then, my saying is, you got to experience it for yourself. You got to come get in this truck and experience it for yourself. One man's situation, that was his situation. You might not find yourself in that same situation. And I went to California with this company once, and I had a good load. I got a good load out there for like, I think 42. It was like, I think it was paying 4,200. And I ended up getting a load out of there, paying $2 and something a mile, going to Colorado. But then when I got to Colorado, they tried to give me a load going back to California, but I turned that down. And that's another thing. A lot of these guys, they don't want to go on the West Coast. So that's the good thing about this company. But the bad thing is, but they got a sister company, ATS. So I'm pretty sure they'll find somebody to cover the load, because they trying to satisfy the customer. Like those trailers. If you go, look on my shorts when I had that load with all those trailers. That was on. I took that load to California, but that's a dedicated customer they got out of Iowa. That's a dedicated customer, so they don't have no company drivers over here. So they got to get somebody to take these loads, because that's a dedicated customer. And a lot of guys don't want to go on the West Coast, which I don't know why, because I think the West Coast is better than going through all those tolls on the East Coast. But see, I know what it is. A lot of guys in which, they even, got me. You got to go through all those skills on the West Coast, and they try to make some money off you. You know what I mean? They try to get you to be a customer. They try to find something which, if your truck good, if you keep up with your truck, I'm good, so I'm good. But a lot of those guys with those older trucks, and then if I'm not mistaken, you can't even go into California unless you got the death scent. You know what I'm talking about? The death on your truck, in order to it clean that black smoke, and it's better for the environment or whatnot. So that's another thing, man. But it's so good, like I say, man, I'm enjoying myself over here right now for Warren Transport. You could come over here, you can make you some money, and then you could start your little business, start small, and but the least you can do is make an attempt. Instead of going to work for somebody, I'm telling you, dude, just the thought of going work for somebody else is just, dude, that's just like, where do you go from here? You go to a union, or you be an entrepreneur, or you work for, or you make something out of nothing, or you start from scratch. You know what I mean? And it's like, most of these truck drivers, man, they ain't no going back to going work for somebody. Like I said, once I exit this, I might go back to it just all depends, but they're not even hiring in the union. You know what I'm saying? Now I go back to the union and for plumbing, but other than that, and that's what I recommend, man. A lot of those guys that was in a union, and I kind of wish I kind of stayed in a union, because those guys, they get pensions. They're gonna get a pension once they turn 60. I think you could draw your pension, if I'm not mistaken. You could draw your pension. No, I think it's after 55, or I think it's after 60. But long story short, those guys, you can get your 401k and you could get your pension, which is another check you're gonna get for the rest of your life. So it is what it is. But like I say, after trucking, you invest, you get everything you need, get your equipment, everything you need in order to start your business, and then you go from there, man. So look, that's what they're gonna put on my truck right there, bro. Look at that shit right there. You see that white? I don't even know what the white stuff is coming out of it, but that's what they're gonna put on my truck. They're gonna put that one, and they're gonna put the other one. But they got a lot of white shit. I wonder what that white shit is. Man, dude, look at that dude. Look at them dudes, man. Them dudes got. I wonder how they gonna strap that shit up, man. And then God bless that truck driver. That guy. Man, you see so many truck drivers in their 60s out here, bro. So it's like, damn. I ran into one truck driver down there in Laredo, and the guy was 74 years old. He was a flatbed driver, and he was telling me he had went to a customer, and they didn't want to throw the tops on top of it. And he was like, he told the people, I'm 74 years old, man. Y'all can't throw the top. They ain't even want to throw the tops on for the man. And he was like, he even, what Warren did was they had to send another driver in an area to throw the tops on top for the guy, bro. And I'm pretty sure that driver right there is damn near over 65. They got so many drivers that's over 65 that work for this company, and they've been at this company for 30 and 40 years. So that should tell you right there the status of the company. And that's a dig. He say my dad is 60 and he works for a chicken plant. He ain't about to retire in a few years. Laugh out loud. He's training other drivers. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. God bless him. I hope I'm able to make it to that age. But man, I'm telling you. And then the guy who I met down at the terminal, who was 74 years old, man, I'm telling you, dude, I don't see how they could do it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you get a load, you got to throw 3 tops on there, because I got 3 tops, in which I think I'm going to have to throw 1 top. But man, look at this. That's what they're going to put on my truck. They're going to put those 2 I don't even know what they is, 2 tanks or whatever, and I don't even know what the white stuff coming out of it. But those 2 tanks, I'm pretty much gonna be taking strap. Yeah, I'm pretty much gonna be taking strap down there to Laredo. Yeah, so I guess they dumping that white stuff out, and they gonna put both of those in, and they gonna have the table side facing out, and then they're gonna throw a whole bunch of strap in the middle, and I guess I'm gonna throw a tarp on top just to keep whatever that strap, because I don't know what type of, if you could look close, they gonna if you could look close down there, they're gonna put some of that strap in the middle. So while they do that, I just throw a top on top, I mean a tarp on top, just to secure and make sure nothing fall out. So I just do it like that, man. But yeah, like I say, man, a lot of drivers over here been here for a long time, 30 and 40 years. They used to have something like a pension. When I was talking to the driver down in Laredo who had been here for over 40 years, he was telling me, and dude, I don't even want to tell y'all, bro. When this dude retired, in which, man, God bless him, bro. But when this man's 74 years old, he gonna retire. When he retired, he gonna retire with over $800,000 into this fund that Warren, they don't even have no more. Warren had this fund, but Warren was bought out by ATS. So once ATS bought Warren, they cut that program out. It was kind of like a pension, a 401k, which they have to match it, but they got rid of it. But they honored that program to all the drivers that was in it before they bought the company over from Warren. But this guy, and I was talking with him, man, and I was like, man, I was just like, wow, that's what's up. But the guy said he been driving for 4 years. He never been married. He don't have no children. And what he gonna do? Man, this shit, I ain't gonna lie, this shit kind of like, I'm like, man, dude, this the most depressing shit I ever heard. The dude said, so for the rest of his life, he's just gonna go on a cruise. I'm like, man, fuck. That's why I say, bro, I'm gonna stack my, stack your paper, and then formulate a little business and get out so you could go be with your family, because like I said, you got to make sacrifice in life, bro. You got to make that sacrifice. So while my daughter young right now, I'm doing everything I need in order to set up everything I need. Boom. So once the summertime come, man, I could be turning this truck in, but we got to keep our fingers crossed, and we don't know what this war going to bring, and hope Russia don't drop that, well, I think it's an RS-26. If they drop that RS-26, it's over. Once they drop that, then NATO is pretty much Europe and the United States and Canada. They gonna retaliate. So then where we go from there? You know what I'm saying? So we gotta see, man, this economy, man. Trump, he talked a good game. He talked a good game, and Biden is like he going out with a bang. You know what I'm saying? It's like he going out with a bang. He sent those U.S.-made missiles, to Ukraine, and they launched them over into Russian territory. So, man, we just gotta keep our fingers crossed, stack our paper, you know what I'm saying, and just hope for the best in the future. You know what I'm saying, and keep stacking up on what we need, and just keep constantly elevating and keep doing that, bro. And that's just the game plan right there. But yeah, dude, I'm like, damn, dude. I'm like, bro, that driver, he said, man, this dude gonna have close to $1 million, and that's not even his 401k, and he don't got no wife, no kids, and dude say he's just gonna go on a cruise for the rest of his life. I don't know how much that costs, but I didn't even know you could get a lifetime cruise ticket. But apparently you could get a lifetime, I think it's like cost like over $100 and something $1,000, to where you could just live on a cruise for the rest of your life. But man, y'all can imagine that. Can y'all live on a cruise for y'all retirement? Can y'all do that? To me, that sounds miserable. I wouldn't want to live on a cruise for the rest of my life. No family, no kids, no nothing, man. That's crazy, man. But to each his own, bro. But I was like, damn, you know, man. What I got 5 people in here, man. What's up, bro? Where y'all who all in here? I know Mike in here. I know Ben in here. What's up, bro? It say Lawrence, did you go flatbed? I'm also interested in flatbed as well. Do you have experience with the company? Yeah, so look, bro. Hold on, let me see, man. I'm about to call and get that answer for you right now. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna call Warren right now.
Thank you for calling Warren Transport. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. To use our dial by name directory.
What they about to load me up? Hey, how you doing? This truck driver. I was calling because I was trying to see, do you need experience as far as if you want to do flatbed? You need flatbed experience if you want to come to Warren Transport as an experienced driver.
I don't know. Let me get you over to recruiting. One moment.
Thank you.
Please hold for the next available driver recruiter. Your call was important to us. Your call will be answered in the order received. Please continue to hold.
Hey, how you doing? I need your help. Do you need flatbed experience if you're an experienced driver and you coming over to Warren Transport?
Sorry, repeat that.
Do you need, let's say for example, drive and driver, if they coming over, they want flatbed, do they need flatbed experience or should?
Yeah. So we are requiring 12 months of flatbed experience to be in our flatbed division.
12 months of experience? All right, thank you so much. I appreciate you. You have a wonderful day.
Yeah, of course.
All right. All right.
Bye.
Yeah, she said you need 12 months. 12 months experience. Yeah, so they loading me up right now. Let's see what they doing. What the hell? Flatbed is easier than reefer. Hold on. Hold your car off. All right. Get you all the way to the front. All right, I'm about to do that right now. All right, buddy. All right.
Yeah, they loading me up, baby. Hold on, I'll be right back. Hold on. Yeah, boy. All right, y'all be cool. Look, I'm gonna go live later on, man. Peace and love. Stay safe. Get this paper, and I'm gonna holler at y'all. Love, big arms.